Okay, bonjour. Unité 7. We're looking at Unit 7, which is Mes Amis. I suppose with this unit, it's not a huge one, just one to be aware of. And really, when we're looking at Mes Amis, it ties very much into school, into hobbies, but we're going to borrow a lot of the content from moi-même et ma famille, especially with the adjectives. What we really want to see here is, can you kind of talk about the importance of having good friends, especially in 6th year? We're always, again, tying into that pressure of la vie en terminale. And also to describe the characteristics of a best friend is often, I suppose, a topic or a subtopic that comes up within that. And again, what do you think friends do for each other? What do your friends help you with? And it's always coming back. We're always thinking back to school, my hobbies. I don't have the time to do what I want. Next year will be better. Okay? So our question possible. Question possible. Like always, I'm going to read them really slowly the first time, tell you exactly what they mean, and then say it as if we're in an oral exam. So our first one there. Parlez-moi de votre bande, groupe d'amis. So bond on its own, or groupe d'amis. Tell me about your group of friends. Again, that's not going to be kind of a huge one. We're just looking there at il y a moi et mes deux amis, or, you know, like your smallest, your kind of close group of friends. So our question is, parlez-moi de votre bande, ou de votre groupe d'amis. Okay, second question is, avez-vous une grande bande d'amis? So do you have a big group of friends? Avez-vous une grande bande d'amis? Comment s'appelle votre meilleur ami? So what is the name of your best friend? We don't hear any difference with best friend, masculine or feminine. The only difference is it's soit, so either mon meilleur ami, soit ma meilleure amie. So we know that my friend, regardless, mon ami, regardless of whether it's masculine or feminine, because it starts with a vowel, is always mon ami, avec un E à la fin. But when we put in best, we introduce a word that starts with a consonant, so we can go back to using mon, ma correctly. So, comment s'appelle votre meilleur ami? Then we have décrivez-moi votre meilleur ami. So, you know, you want to talk about what they're like as a person. And that kind of ties into the characteristics of what is a best friend or what is a good friend. Et alors, décrivez-moi votre meilleur ami. Tell me about your best friend. Describe your best friend to me. We have, quelles sont les caractéristiques les plus importantes d'un meilleur ami or d'une meilleure amie? Again, in the exam, if you haven't given any context yet, if you haven't kind of mentioned, oh, my best friend, mon meilleur ou ma meilleure, and kind of specified a gender, the examiner may say both. So if the sentence seems a bit long and they say the same thing twice, it may just be that they're doing it like this. Donc, selon vous, quelles sont les caractéristiques les plus importantes d'un meilleur ami ou d'une meilleure amie? So it might work like that. I suppose the only thing you need to worry about there is that if you mention one or the other, that the adjectives that you use, adjectif, must match. So you say ma meilleure amie, you need to make sure you have feminine adjectives. If you say mon meilleur ami, you need to make sure you have masculine adjectives. It doesn't matter either ways. You just have to be consistent. I was saying this to my first years when we were looking at the family, we were learning about adjectives for the very first time, and they were going, God, what do you mean it's gender? And the examiner isn't going to fact check you. And also they don't care if you tell lies, right? You can make up a friend, you can make up a family, you can make up a house. I'm not there to have a conversation with you about your life. With love and with respect. As an examiner, you talk to kind of up to about 120 people in that week. I don't know you. I don't need you to tell me about your personal life. What I need to do is show that you can have a conversation on X, Y, Z topics and be grammatically accurate. If you need to lie to tell an answer that shows off more grammar or more vocab, do it, okay? So again, like that, you don't need to tell me about your real best friend. You need to tell me about one that shows off a bit of vocab. So that's that question there. Now, there's no sample answer on this because it kind of only really comes up if it comes up. So you just need to have 1 or 2 sentences prepared. Est-ce que c'est difficile de passer du temps avec vos amis cette année? So again, is it difficult to spend time with your friends this year? We're going straight into oui, bien sûr, à cause du bac. Je n'ai jamais, exactly the same as Unit 5, la vie en terminale. Je n'ai jamais le temps de faire ce que je veux. Oh, je suis super stressée. Oui, je ne vois presque jamais mes amis. I hardly ever see my friends. Donc, est-ce que c'est difficile de passer du temps avec vos amis cette année? Exactly, okay? Now, I don't think they ask this anymore. But I know up until semi-recently, it was asked, do you have a boyfriend, do you have a girlfriend? I can't imagine, but just on the off chance you get an examiner, just so you even know what the question is. Avez-vous un petit ami, une petite amie? You are more than welcome to say, je ne veux pas répondre. I don't want to answer. Je ne veux pas. Or just answer and make something up. Oui, il est super sympa. Oui, elle est super sympa. Okay. Avez-vous un petit ami, une petite amie? Selon vous, in your opinion, c'est important de passer du temps avec lui, elle, eux, elle. Donc, selon vous, c'est important de passer du temps avec lui, ou avec elle, ou avec eux, ou avec elle. So this is him, singular, her, they, masculine or mixed, and then they, feminine. So when we look at our answers here, again, this is not a huge section we're looking at. We just want to have a little bit to say. We always, in these kind of unit breakdowns, look at the nicest, kind of jazziest vocab we can look at. So here, and I'm just showing you how to kind of pronounce it, make sure we all know it. À mon avis, les amis sont une famille dont on a choisi les membres. So in my opinion, friends are a family of which, or in which, one has chosen the members. Mon meilleur ami ou ma meilleure amie s'appelle, remember when we have that I-L-L, it's like an E, Y, hit it with a bit of Ariana at the end. Mon meilleur, so meilleur, ma meilleure amie s'appelle. De nature, so we can use this when we're describing kind of a person's personality. We say de nature. By nature, they are. Il ou elle a des cheveux et des yeux. I don't know what it is. I hear a lot of students, when they tell me about kind of, more so when they're talking about themselves, they say something like, j'ai mes yeux. I mean, obviously you have your eyes. Who else's eyes are you going to have? It's really weird that you're saying it like that. So we just say, because in French, it's implied that you are talking about your own eyes when you say j'ai, I have. We just say les yeux ou des yeux. Il a les cheveux, des cheveux, either or is actually fine there. That's the rubber. Ou et les yeux, just with this we have to make the liaison. Again, for marron, kind of dark brown, no agreement because that comes from a food item, a noun. Nous sommes très semblables, similar, en plusieurs moyens. We don't pronounce that S at the end. Plusieurs moyens. When we have an S at the end, if there's just one on its own, ignore it. Pretend it's not there. J'ai beaucoup d'amis. Again, it's important that we pronounce beaucoup correctly. Beaucoup. It's that OU sound. OU makes an oo, oo. Okay, it's much deeper. It's in the throat. You should feel your voice box moving. Beaucoup, oo, oo. Whereas U is our other U sound, and it's like U. You make an E and then close your mouth. It's much tighter. Obviously, you can still hear your voice box move because you're making sound, but it's much less. It's not in the throat. It's kind of at the back of the mouth. Beaucoup, and there's aspiration when you say it. There's a lot of air coming out of your mouth. So beaucoup, I feel no air. I feel the air blow. You're like, why are you just standing saying these sounds? It's really important because beaucoup means a lot, but beaucoup, like this, the way it sounds, that means nice bum. Okay, so it's really important that we pronounce that correctly. So j'ai beaucoup d'amis et nous nous entendons super bien. We get on super well, really well. Je n'ai que quelques amis. Je n'ai que quelques amis. The ne and que means only. It's a different way of kind of negating, of qualifying a verb, giving extra quality to it. Mais nous sommes très proches et nous faisons. Again, this, when we have an AI sound and there's another syllable, like here, it makes an E. So plus a second syllable. It changes the sound from E to kind of E. Nous faisons. So, or even if I suppose if it's easier to just be like, this says faisons, not faisons. I don't want to hear a Y sound. It's not nous faisons, nous faisons. Tous ensemble. We do everything together. Heureusement, on habite tous à proximité, donc on se voit tout le temps. Because temps, I know some people find tout a bit confusing. It always agrees with the thing that comes after it. So tout le temps, all, when it means all. Because le temps, even though it has an S, it's singular. That's why this is always T-O-U-T. Okay, so happily or luckily, we all live close to each other, à proximité, nearby. Again, if you're asking, especially in the formal letter, making a booking, you want to say, is there something nearby? À proximité, really nice way to do that. Notre chose préférée à faire est de passer des heures à bavarder de n'importe quoi. Our favorite thing to do is to spend hours. Just remember when we use passer and we want to use another verb linked to spending time doing something, it's à passer du temps, à, and then verb. That's how that works. It seems as though it should be with the gérondif, with the present participle, but it's not. Surtout cette année, so we're linking back to this kind of stress, whatever. Especially this year, c'est super important d'avoir de bons amis. Nous devons nous soutenir. This nous here, in between, is a support each other direct object pronoun, and it's that reciprocal pronoun. Okay, we have to support each other pendant cette période de stress. Quand nous sommes stressés, nous faisons un appel vidéo de groupe et discutons nos soucis. That's really sweet. When we're stressed, we literally make or do a video call, and we discuss our worries. Okay? Again, just be obviously aware of the fact there that you might get into a conversation about technology, but you can just be like, oh, c'est super, c'est incroyable, je peux rester en contact avec mes amis. Okay? Again, this getting a bit technology-ish, mais nous restons, because there's no accent, toujours en contact avec nos discussions de groupe sur Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp. So we always stay in contact with our group chats, group discussions, but listen. Il peut être, remember we only pronounce the T in between when there's a dash and it means maybe. So peut-être, when I can hear the T, it means maybe. Peut être, I cannot hear the T, that means like it can be, maybe. Okay? Difficile de trouver le temps de passer avec mes amis à cause des examens. Nous ne nous voyons que quand c'est possible. Ne, que, we know means only. We only see each other when it's possible. Mes amis m'aident. Okay, especially when you're talking about something helping you, it's nearly pronounced like this, med, like medicine. M'aide beaucoup à m'échapper de la pression des examens. Again, making sure with that S-I-O-N, there's no shun sound. J'ai un petit ami ou une petite amie qui s'appelle blablabla. Nous sommes ensemble depuis, we've been together for the kind of tick that I'm doing is a liaison where you drag the sound over. Depuis combien de mois, combien d'années. Il ou elle est mon meilleur ami ou ma meilleure amie. I have a boyfriend or girlfriend, we've been together for this amount of months, this many years. He or she is my best friend. Je n'ai même pas le temps de voir ma famille et mes amis, sans parler d'un petit ami, d'une petite amie. I don't even have the time. This is a kind of a funny way to, again, I don't think you'll get the question, but just on the off chance. Funny way to brush it off. I don't even have the time to see my friends or family. Je n'ai même pas le temps de voir mes amis ou ma famille. Again, listen to where I intonate. French is different. Every syllable has the exact same amount of importance in the word. Like in English, we really put the stress where we want the kind of the focus to be. If you're talking about pronunciation, you see what I mean? Mais en français, chaque syllabe est aussi important que le reste. Donc, il est important de moduler la voix. Okay, you have to modulate your voice that everything has the same amount of stress. There's no da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da that you might have in English. Okay, so that is mes amis. What's really key here is that you can, I suppose, try your best to have just a couple of characteristics of best friend or a slight description of your best friend. That's really what you're looking for. There's no sample answer here because you just pick a couple of adjectives from moi-même et ma famille, you know what I mean, of your best friend, and find a way to link, because it's the easy way to do it, link to having no time to see your friends. And then you can link it back to Leaving Cert, you can link it back to stress, you can link it back to hobbies, what you do when you're stressed, what you do after school, see your friends, and then you can link it to college. You'll see that's kind of a lot of what we try to do because it's the path of least resistance. It's the easiest way through that conversation. Okay, mes amis, Unit 7, done, fini. Super.